Hello and welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is Monday, bad Monday. My prediction for the game against Denver didn't go as planned, as I don't think anybody saw that game going that way. We haven't beat them since 95. I don't know what it is with that team. But I can tell you my three biggest takeaways of that loss. I start with the offense. I know the defense gave up 190 on the ground, over 400 total yards after only giving up less than 300 against Minnesota the week before. Dak Prescott played his worst game of his career. The worst game of his career. He had Lamb wide open for 2 touchdown passes. Wide open, overthrows him by a quarter mile. The man couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And when he could, key drops across the field. Not just Pollard or Lamb or Wilson, even Cooper. 3rd and 1 in the third quarter. Cooper on the slant pattern, where if he catches that ball, he probably hits his head on the goalpost. Drops the ball. Defense. If the defense is out there 42 minutes, they're only going to be able to hold up for so long. That's any defense. I don't care if it's a 2000 Ravens defense. Our defense was not the problem. Now, I believe that defensive line injuries finally caught up to us this game. Having no Tank, who besides being a decent pass rusher is a great run stopper. No Gallimore. Brent Irvin is on IR for the next 2 weeks at least. He's our best run stopper. And a few more guys that are missing from the defensive line. And just horrible. And Mike McCarthy, I do like aggressiveness. We wouldn't have beat the Chargers if we wouldn't have went for it on 4th down on the opening drive in that game. But on the second drive of the game, 4th and 2 from the 22, take the lead. First points of the game are the hardest. Take the 3 and get on the board to take the lead. I believe that would have changed the whole dynamic of the game. Instead, he wants to go for it again. By the way, we were 0 for 5 on 4th downs yesterday. And Wilson, the play's there, but Dak just throws it to the turf instead of to Wilson. One of his many horrible throws. He wasn't a $70 million quarterback yesterday. He was a $7.50 quarterback yesterday. Now, if he wants that to live up to that contract, he's got to play better than that. You cannot have a game like that. That is beyond ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. Patrick Surtain went down in the first quarter early. They had no good edge rushers. And on that topic, I don't know if it's Joe Philbin or Jerry Jones that made this decision. Why would you move Terrence Steele, who's been playing great at right tackle? I mean, playing beautiful for the last 6 games, and move him to left tackle opposed to Lyle Collins, who's getting the big money, who ought to be able to move around and do what we need? Why would you move Terrence Steele from where he's been playing Pro Bowl caliber right tackle and move him to left? He hadn't allowed a sack all season until yesterday. Yesterday, he allows 11 pressures, 8 hurries, and 2 sacks. Terrence Steele from the left side. Lyle Collins played left tackle at LSU. He has got experience at left tackle more than Terrence Steele does at a higher level. He's getting the big money. Put Lyle Collins' ass at left tackle. Why would you mess up the chemistry between Martin and Steele on the right side? It's been working beautifully. That was just the biggest bonehead decision of the game, in my opinion. You put Collins as your swing tackle. He lost his job to Terrence Steele. Bottom line. Okay, you show up out of shape in camp last year. As a result of that, you get a hip injury, miss all 16 games, and then you mess around and try to bribe Collector and you get 5-game suspension. Yeah, Steele won that job from him. So that's that for that. So switch him back against Atlanta, please. Put Terrence where he belongs and put Lyle where he belongs until Ty Smith comes back. And the defense held up as long as they could. Trayvon Diggs, wake up. Okay? Yes, you had a beautiful 6-game stretch, but I think you're starting to smell your own piss too much now. You're not primetime junior. You don't hold a candle to them. Okay? You had a good first 6 games. Teams have caught on to you now. Okay? They're not scared at you. In fact, they picked on you yesterday. They threw it to your side the majority of the game. That should tell you something, Trayvon. Okay? You're not the big baller that you thought you were. You could be if you don't let your head get too big. Get back to fundamentals and quit trying to jump every damn thing that comes your way. And whenever you're covering a receiver, if you're running stride by stride with him down the sideline, there's no reason to put your hand on him. I mean, you're getting flagged. Every time you break up a pass, you get flagged. And you want to celebrate like you did something big. No, you didn't, okay? God, Anthony Brown right now is playing last 2 games the best corner on our team. Hopefully, Kelvin Joseph can work his way into this lineup and make a difference. That block punt could have been a huge turn in the game. Nashawn Wright touches it. I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings because here in Houston, that game was blacked out yesterday, so we had no audio. But I think it's a horrible rule. I think if a team blocks a punt, all the rules should be in their favor because it's very hard to block a punt. And that was our second one this year. I mean, number 17 came right up the middle, untouched, beautiful. If the ball would have went backwards behind the line of scrimmage, then, that wouldn't have happened. But since it didn't and Nashawn Wright touched it, it becomes a live ball. Go back to Leon Lett on Thanksgiving when they blocked the field goal and they told everybody to stay away. Leon Lett goes and tries to get it, slides, ball goes rolling, Miami recovers. That's basically what happened on that block punt. That would have been a huge turnaround. I believe if we capitalize and have that ball after that block punt, the game turns out different. But Dak cannot have another game like that. Not by any stretch of the imagination. That was horrible. He played worse. Hell, Cooper Rush had a better game last week than Dak did yesterday. And that's saying something. And then Mike McCarthy, when your team's down 30-0 with 5 minutes left to go, why is your franchise quarterback still in the freaking game? If you would have got hurt in those last 5 minutes, that's a fireable offense. That is McCarthy. Wake up. Don't be stupid. 5 minutes left to go. It's a blowout. Take the motherfucker out of the game. I mean, geez. That is... I'll just leave that alone. I don't know what he does. I mean, his only job is to motivate, clock management, oversee. He doesn't do any of them well. What does he do? Basically just a fat cheerleader on the sideline wanting to go for every 4th down whenever the beginning of the season it was working. It's not too much now, so you might want to back off of that just a little bit until we start getting those 3rd and 1s consistently again. So, anything else I got for this surprising loss against Denver? Not really. I mean, our defense is not as bad as it looked. We hold Minnesota to under 300 yards last week, 16 points, but we're on the field 27.5 minutes that game, not 42. So, the offense against Minnesota had how many first downs? 23 first downs. Yesterday had 14 first downs. Yesterday they were 5 of 13 on 3rd down, 0 of 5 on 4th down. So basically that's 5 of 18 on 3rd and 4th and 1, or 3rd and 4th down basically. Horrible. And then 3 and outs. I didn't count them, but I wouldn't doubt if they had more than 10 3 and outs. So when the defense would get a stop, they're thinking they're going to get a rest, and then offense goes out there and just plays with themselves. 3 downs and they're out. Defense has to go right back out. And we're thin at defensive line as it is, so we cannot be on the field 42 minutes. This game against Atlanta, they're not just going to roll over. You saw they beat the Saints yesterday. They're not going to roll over. They're in the playoff picture. Even without Julio, even without Calvin Ridley leaving with mental reasons, they're still playing ball. They had 350 yards in the air yesterday. They didn't run the ball much, but they were passing it. Matty Ice can still throw that rock. And they're going to throw it at you, Trayvon, so you better be watching for that. And Kyle Pitts, somebody cover his ass, because this is a must-win game. Cowboys drop this game this season, this special season, doesn't start to look special anymore, because the next 4 games is our toughest quarter of the season. Atlanta, Kansas City, Raiders, and Saints. Now, if we go 3-1 or 4-0 in this next 4 games, season in the future looks bright. But the next 4 games will determine what it looks like going down the stretch of the season. I know that for sure. Now, I know the light's going on and off. That's because of my damn television. I'm going to turn that off. But anyways, yes, my second episode. I'll start shooting videos in the studio pretty soon. The girl that shot my first video, she has a nice studio in South Houston with a green screen and all those cool things. And like I said, I will have ball players here in all season. I was on Law Nation show last night doing those super chats, trying to get my name out there. Got him to say my name. And, trying to get, some pub like that. But everybody, please like and subscribe if you like my content, if you like what I got to say, if you like my take on things. And I'll have a video later on this week against the matchup at Atlanta. Keys to victory, keys to defeat, things like that. And just can't wait to get healthy. Can't wait to get our stud defensive lineman back. Surprised Gregory didn't do anything yesterday. That was a shock going up against a backup. Going against Cam Fleming, had 0 sacks, only 2 tackles for the whole day. Had no pressures hardly. Micah Parsons is going to be the runaway defensive player of the year. 2.5 sacks yesterday, so he's tied with Randy Gregory now at 5 apiece. But that's about that for that Denver game. The offense was just completely pathetic, and that put too much on the defense. Defense can't hold up for that long, especially if you just go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Hardly any damn first downs. And Dak, get your shit together, man. You want to be paid $75 million a year? Well, you better play like it. You asked for it, you got it. Now lead us to victory, please. That's that. This is Monday, November 8th. Thank you for watching the Charles in Charge Sports Report. Please tune in to my next video later on this week. Look for it. And that's that for today. Charles is out.